All right, guys, let's get some NBA picks and props for Thursday, March 14th, slate of games. Trey, take a look at that leaderboard. Have you start us off?
Yeah, we swept the board on the game pick. Shout out us. Hopefully you guys backed us there. A great day. Could parlay both those picks and get some good money. I gave out the Mavericks minus 7.5 versus the Warriors. The Mavericks, they won this game by 10 points. They almost made me sweat there at the end. They were controlling this entire game, especially in the second half whenever Luka and Kyrie just started pulling away. Steph Curry, not on the Warriors, and they did not break 100 points. So that's no bueno.
Yeah, and I had the Denver Nuggets minus 3.5 on the road. The Heat also didn't break 100 points, 88 points. The offense failed them. Denver won the game by 12 points there. So we swept the board. Let's go to the player props. Should have been a sweep. Have you start us off?
Oh, that's pain. Yeah, and I barely cashed mine. I gave out Brandon Ingram over 19.5 points versus the Cavaliers. He scored 20 points, and I said he's going to at least score 20, and hey, he backed me up. Shout out Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, my player prop was Cade Cunningham over 21.5 points against the Raptors. I think we had the right play. I'm going to die on that hill. Cade Cunningham had 19 points at the 5-minute mark in the third quarter. He sat down. He stayed out the entire rest of the game in the last 17 minutes. I just would love maybe give me an explanation how that's happening in a competitive game. He's your best player. No injury, no nothing. He's just sat for 17 minutes in a row. Gambling is ruining NBA. I feel like I'm one of those guys that don't think it's fixed, but whenever you see that, your brain goes to weird places. You think it's fixed. I just want a text message from Monty or Adam Silver. Just shoot me a text message really quick, explain what happened, and I'll move on with my life. But that was one of the worst beats I've had in a while, especially with the large amount of money on it. Cade, 19 points, needed 21.5, didn't play the last 17 minutes. Tough loss there, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on and try to battle back from that. The group play was the Kings and the Lakers game. I took the Lakers. I took the Kings. You have the Lakers. The Kings are currently up 4 points, 60-56 at the half. That one can go either way. We'll see what that one does. But let's go to the group play for tomorrow. It's going to be the Mavericks going on the road to face off against the OKC Thunder. Thunder not playing great basketball. They are laying minus 6.5 here, though. Over under 241.5. How do you start?
Yeah, I saw a stat that said the Oklahoma City Thunder, they did lose their last game by 10 points at home. The last time they lost by 10 points at home was the very first game of the regular season. So take that for what it is. Are they going to bounce back here? Probably. But I don't think they're going to cover this spread. Give me the Mavericks here plus 6.5. This over-under is absolutely absurd at 241.5. And I feel like there's a great chance it could go over. And I'm just going to take the team with the two better scores. Yes, SGA is an elite scorer. He can do it all. But, I mean, we're talking about Luka Doncic here and Kyrie Irving. I feel like they're going to battle throughout this game, and they're going to pull out this game with a massive dub. And I'm not too worried about this Oklahoma City Thunder team here because this Mavericks team, they need this game more. Every game from here on out to finish the regular season is basically a playoff game for them because they need to stay out of the play-in tournament. And if they keep winning games like they have been, they're going to find themselves with a good home field advantage during the NBA playoffs. So I feel like they're going to keep it going here, keep the roll, balling down the hill. So I'm going to go with the Mavericks here plus 6.5.
I'm going with the Thunder. This is an absolute smash spot for me, minus 6.5. They lost their last game at home. I backed them against the Pacers. They looked horrible. The Mavericks don't play any defense. The Thunder do play defense, and they're just as good as scoring. OKC is going to play lockdown defense in this game. They're going to score a bunch of points. They're going to score 125 plus. Mavs aren't even going to get 110. I'm going OKC minus 6.5 here as a smash play. Let's go to our plays for tomorrow. Have you start us off?
Wow, that's very surprising. We'll see how that game goes. But I'm going to be talking about this Phoenix Suns going up against Boston Celtics game, and I am very excited to watch this game. This could possibly be an NBA Finals preview here, and these two teams, they did play a few nights ago, and the Celtics won that game in Phoenix by 10 points. But I just do not think that's going to happen again here, guys. Give me the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to buy a half point. I'm going to take them at plus 5.5 here in this game. It was at 4.5 earlier, so I love that I get one more point here. And I truly believe that the Suns are going to win this game straight up. The Celtics, they're already going to be without Kristaps Porzingis in this game, and Jaylen Brown is questionable. If Brown doesn't play, those are two massive out injuries for the Celtics. Meanwhile, this Suns team is finally getting healthy at the right time. They've won 3 out of their last 4 games, with that only loss being a few nights ago against the Celtics. And I think they're going to try to get a revenge game special here going up against Boston. The thing that I love about the Suns is that their defense is pretty underrated, but they're actually ranked 7th in the NBA when it comes to opponent field goal percentage. So they really force you into tough shots. And if they can play some tough defense here in this game, then I really love our chances with the pure scores of KD, Booker, and Beal to turn it up and win this game. And with Porzingis out here, the Suns, I feel like they're just going to dominate in the painted area, especially on the glass. That's because the Suns are actually ranked number 1 in the NBA in terms of defensive rebounding. So the Celtics, they're not going to get a lot of opportunities to get second chances here. And that's going to be the catalyst to us covering here. So giving the Suns, I'm going to take them plus 5.5. And I feel like you can even sprinkle some of that money line.
Yeah, Trey, I do like the play there for you. For my play today, it's going to be off the rails here. I'm looking at the Clippers going up against the Bulls. I'm changing the play off the rip because I just looked at the injury report, got a notification from the Clippers, and I thought the line was a little bit confusing at first, but now I know why. We've got James Harden and Kawhi Leonard day-to-day questionable with a back injury and a shoulder strain. So knowing the history of those two players, you would basically need to kidnap their entire families and hold them ransom for them to play with minor injuries. So I'm assuming both those guys are not going to be playing in this game. Also knowing the NBA nowadays, they don't make players play the entire season, even though they signed a contract to play the entire year. So with that news, I'm going to switch over to the Bulls with the points at home. I'm actually going to, I'm just going to take the Bulls on the money line. What we got? The spread plus what?
It's plus 6.5 money line plus 205.
I'm going to take the Bulls plus 205 on the money line. Both those guys out. Russell Westbrook out with a fractured hand. He's not going to be playing. The Clippers, they've had the Bulls number in 3 consecutive games. That was going to be what I was going to use for this Clippers bet. But the Bulls, they've got extra motivation now. I'm pretty sure they just won in overtime against the Pacers. They're coming back home. Chicago on the road tonight against that Pacers team. It was a tough game. I love the play here now for the Bulls on the money line. They're coming off that big win. They're back home. They lost the last 3 against the Clippers. Give me the Bulls here on the money line without Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. Paul George is over the hill too, so he cannot carry this team alone. Give me the Bulls on the money line as the play. Let's go to the player props. Have you start us off?
Yeah, I actually saw Kawhi Leonard leave that game yesterday, and he started grabbing his ass. Oh, my God, here comes quads. They're going to spark up the quads. And he actually left the game before halftime, walked out of the stadium and just left. I felt like that was so weird. You're not going to sit on the bench. But
you know what is crazy, Trey? Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Ben Simmons gets shit on for not playing. I feel like Kawhi Leonard has played just as many games as Ben Simmons. And nobody says boo about Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, Stephen A. Smith called him out last year and got ridiculed for it. He said he's the worst superstar in the NBA, and everyone's like, he's watching out for his health. But at the end of the day, you're getting paid money. Yeah, I guess if you can't play, you can't play, but you at least got to try.
What an absolute bum. And James Harden on the injury report, you might as well just chalk it up there. So I doubt either of them play. All right, let's move on to the player props. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going to go with Kyle Kuzma here, and I'm going to take him to go over 23.5 points going up against the Houston Rockets. And I really love this over for Kuzma in this game. We are going to see him dominate here, and I bet on Kuzma just a few nights ago against the Heat, against another elite defense, and he cashed for us very easily in that game. And I believe that's going to continue here. And I believe that for a few reasons. The first reason is because Kuzma's on an absolute heater. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 26.4 points per game, which is over this number. And I actually love this matchup here versus the Rockets, even though their defense is pretty good. Since Kuzma has gotten traded to the Wizards just a few seasons ago, he's only played against the Rockets twice, but in those 2 games, he's averaged 28.5 points per game. And with the Wizards basically calling it a season, throwing in the white towel, Kuzma, as I said, over his last 5 games, he's hot. He's just looking to fill up the stat sheet here, not really looking to win games. And hey, I'm all here for it. Give me Kyle Kuzma to go over 23.5 points versus the Rockets.
Yeah, Trey, I like it there. With the recent events that have happened over the last 24 hours, I'm going to go with strictly underplays from now on for all my NBA player props. The one thing that I hate in life, you know this, Trey, what really makes me hate doing these videos is taking an under because my hands are tied now. I have no choice. I don't like rooting for players to suck, but here we are. Give me Jerami Grant of the Portland Trailblazers to go under total points against the Knicks. If I'm going to take an under, it's going to be against the best defensive team in the NBA, the New York Knicks. This team's been absolutely locked in from the defensive side. And looking at their numbers over the last couple of games, they have given up 79 points twice to the 76ers, 74 to the Magic, 98 to the Cavs. And then the one time they gave up over 100 points, it was to the Atlanta Hawks, one of the better offensive teams. Portland's coming into this game with one of the worst offenses in the NBA. And the New York Knicks over the last couple of games, they have been shutting down the 3 and 4 man for the opposing teams. Precious Achiuwa, Josh Hardenstein, those guys, you might as well just give them the Defensive Player of the Year because they are shutting down the opposing team's big men. You can say what you want about Tobias Harris and some of the bigs of the 76ers, but I think they've been having a pretty decent season. And over the last 2 games, the New York Knicks absolutely shut down Tobias Harris. He scored a total of 13 points on 22 shots. And the only offense that the 76ers had off the bench was Paul Reed coming in. If we look at the Orlando Magic game, Franz Wagner only scored 13 points on 20 shots. Wendell Carter Jr. had a total of 7 points. Paulo did have 23 points, but he had to take 20 shots. The defense is playing elite basketball, especially against the 3 and the 4 man. This defense is locked in right now. Give me Jerami Grant to go under his total points against that Knicks team as the play. Trey, let's go to the player props, or let's go to the graphic. Have you start us off?
Yeah, guys, I'm going with the Suns now, plus 5.5 versus Celtics. I love that we're getting so many points. We're talking about a team that has KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal getting points. I love that, even if it's against the Celtics. And I'm also going with Kyle Kuzma over 23.5 points versus the Rockets. So yes, the Rockets, they do have a great defense, but we're talking about Kyle Kuzma here, one of the best pure scorers in the NBA.
Love me a Wizards play. I'm going to go with the Bulls here on the money line. I know it says Clippers minus 4.5, but I had a big spiel on my game pick, so go back and listen to that if you haven't done that. And then Jerami Grant, under his total points against the Knicks. Love the under there against this Knicks team. They play great defense. Guys, that's going to do it for the NBA Plays and Props for Thursday, March 14th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Super Bowl. We also have 12,000 subs coming right around the bend. We're at 10,200. We're going to give away 2 tickets to anybody to any game they want. NBA, NFL, college basketball. It doesn't matter. We can wait until the new season for NFL. Any game you want to go, whenever we get to 12K, we're going to have that giveaway coming up as well. Leaderboard. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's 2 options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube. And it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,